Hey, 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 Tip Tuesday listeners, welcome back to another episode. And hello, Ryan.
Hello, Katie. Welcome back, everyone.
Hi there. So today we're going to talk about something that I feel like hasn't really been a conversation over the last couple of years, really, and that is the 5-1 arm. Now, back in the day, Ryan, you and I remember this, adjustable rates were the thing. And then rates, right? And then rates changed and it started to be more of a fixed rate environment. But let's talk about the 5-1 arm and its benefits.
Yeah, mortgage rates, they have improved a lot over the past 18 months, but we're still considerably above the lows that we saw in 2020 and 2021. Back then when rates were in the 2s and 3s, but right now, we're in kind of the 5s and 6s. But, with all of our buyers, we like to go over all the options available to really give you the best rate and payment available. And one very popular option now is the 5-year ARM. So ARM, what it stands for is adjustable rate mortgage. This means for a 5-1 ARM, the first 5 years of your mortgage, the rate is fixed. But after 5 years, the rate can adjust depending on the current market. Now, the reason these are popular is because the rate for the first 5 years in this example, usually about 0.5% lower than just a 30-year fixed option. So if you're buying like a $450,000 home, that could be about $120 to $150 a month in savings. So, it could be something you want to consider. Now, there are caps on how much the rate can increase after the 5 years. For example, there's an initial cap, which means, the first adjustment after the 5 years, you can't go higher than a certain amount, usually 1% to 2%. And there are period and lifetime caps as well. So there are cap protections on your rate adjustment, but still, these can be risky. Nobody knows what rates are going to be in 5 years. And, they could be lower, they could be higher, So what we find is the buyers for these programs, the ones that are the ones best for, to have a good degree of certainty of how long they're going to be living in the property. So I know it's hard to tell sometimes, but, for example, first-time home buyers, we talk to them and they're like, hey, we love this house, but it's more of a starter home. We want to get in, build some equity, sell in 3 or 4 years, and then move on to kind of our more long-term property. So cases like that, it could be a good option because you sell the house before the adjustable rate period ever ends. So, it like I said, it can be risky if you plan on living there for a long time, but if you are planning a short period in the home, it's something to consider. And there are ARMs too that are 7 or 10 year. If you plan on living there longer, you don't get as much of a benefit the longer the fixed term in terms of better rate. But those you can consider as well. So something to definitely take a look at, because under certain circumstances, I do recommend considering these programs.
You bring up a good point, too, that I just want to hang on for a moment. You had mentioned that these can be really great for people who are wanting to sell and get that mortgage paid off under that 5-year mark. So in terms of prepayment penalties, are we looking at any with your typical 5-1 ARM?
Yeah, that was something in the past that were on the loans. Anybody who kind of remembers 2008 and what happened at that period in the real estate market, that there were adjustable rate loans, but they had prepayment penalties if you paid them off during that adjustment period. The good thing now is really that they don't have those. There are some banks that have them, but a lot of them actually you could buy them out, or you don't even have to actually offer them. So I'm glad we brought that up. But the ones that we offer, they do not have prepayment penalties.
Awesome. Love it. Well, I like this for an option for the right buyer, of course. Thank you so much, Ryan, for all of that value. We appreciate you so much. Guys, if you want to check out any of our previous episodes, again, our goal here is to pack a lot of value in just a little bit of time, because none of us have a lot of time, right? Like, let's just face it. So if you want to get your value in a short amount of time, like I mentioned, hop on over to our YouTube channel. It is at Team EvoAZ. That's our handle. Scroll down just a little ways. You will see the Real Estate Tip Tuesday playlist, and there are hundreds of videos there. If you prefer the podcast style on your favorite podcast platform, do a quick search for Arizona Real Estate Radio. There you will find us, download. You will never miss an episode, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, everyone.
Looking for the right home loan can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Hi, I'm Ryan Gilliam, an Arizona native with 20 years of experience helping families find the best mortgage solution for their needs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or refinancing, I make the process simple, stress-free, and tailored just for you. I help you access better rates, offer guidance tailored to your goals, and make the mortgage approval process easier every step of the way. Your best mortgage starts with the right partner. Let's make your home goals happen. Reach out today.